Ready? Recording so that it is easy. Okay, I'll first take the class in English. Then any doubts, please ask me. I will do it in Tamil. Okay. Listen to me. Okay. Focus. Very, very important. Super important. If you understand this class, whole accounting becomes super easy. That's how important this class is. Okay. So first, single entry are all very easy. We will track money. We will track real money. When money comes in, we will debit in. We will put in the in column. When money goes out, we will put it in the out column. How many of you have read accounts before? Some form of accounts you have done. 11th, 12th, BCom. Some form of accounts you have done. Tell me, we know two terms, debit, credit. What is debit, what is credit? Who can tell? All expenses are debit, all income credit. All golden rules you are telling. So you know expenses you should debit, income you should credit. I'm asking what is debit, what is credit? Understand the question? You are telling expenses will be debited, income will be credited. Just relax for now. You will become super fast after this class. Okay? Person who takes loan should be debited and all, you are telling okay. But what is debit? What is debit? What is credit? These two are Latin terms. Okay, wow. So what does that mean? Do we know the meaning of debit and credit? Amount is debited, amount is credited, you get in bank messages. Whenever some money comes, it says your bank account is credited. Whenever money goes, your bank account is debited. That's what the message you get. But what is debit, what is credit? What does that term mean? Like in executive accounting practices, I told what executive means, what accounting means, what practices means. Literal meaning of debit and credit is what I want to know. Then what is loan? So anything you take that is debit or no? Okay. All of you, you have all heard about Pythagoras theorem? Pythagoras theorem? Mathematics. 9th standard or 8th standard mathematics? Pythagoras theorem, what it says in a right angle triangle, these two sides is equal to this sides. You don't remember or don't remember, I don't know. But at the end, last line we will write hence proved. Before that, what do we write? LHS is equal to RHS. Left hand side is equal to right hand side. For all intents and purposes, imagine double entry to be your left side as books and right side of books. Your left side of books, we will call it as debit side. Your right side of books, we will call it as credit side. At the end, LHS should be equal to RHS. Left side is what? Debit. Right side is what? Always your hand, you write and keep also if you don't remember now. Very, very important. Left side. So imagine in accounting we will divide the books into two parts. Your left side is always your debit. Your right side is your credit. Okay. In single entry, we were tracking only money. We know the limitations in single entry. Credit is not taken in. We don't know the balances. Look at me when I'm telling. You don't know the balances. See, you will know what you're understanding or not. If you see somewhere else, I wouldn't know. Then I'll hit you with something. Okay. So, at the end, in double entry, what we are telling is LHS should be equal to RHS. Debit should be equal to credit. For any transaction, we will hit two accounts. In single entry, we were hitting only one account, which was either cash or bank. In double entry, we will hit two accounts. Every transaction will hit two accounts. One account will be your debit account. One account will be your credit account. Debit and credit should always be equal. Clear till now? Any doubt till now? Repeat in Tamil, repeat in Hindi? No? No. Okay. So next question is, what should be debited, what should be credited? Okay, wow. There is golden rules. Vijay would have done that golden rules also. But those of you who do not understand golden rules, sir, very tough for me. Journal entries, they're very tough. I don't understand golden rules only. Then I will tell you one easiest way. Before going to that easiest way, we should know four terms. Okay, wow. So, what I will do is, I will just change this for now. Erase this, we will write again. So what I will do is, we are again dividing the whole book into two quadrants. This is your book, imagine. We are dividing it into two quadrants. Okay, va? We are further dividing it into two more quadrants. So 4 quadrants are there. 4 quadrants, 4 dabbas are there. We will call it as bucket system. Okay, va? The first term that we are going to learn is called as asset. Okay, va? So, okay, the first term we are going to learn is asset. The second term that we are going to learn is expenses. The third term that we are going to learn is liability. and the fourth term is income or revenue. Income. Asset, liability, expenses, income. These four terms: asset, liability, expenses, and income. Okay, asset, liability, expenses, and income. Super. Now, someone tell me what is asset? Sottu. Company oda sottu. Land and building sottu. How do you know it is your sottu? சொத்து சொந்தமானவை பெறத்தக்கவை வீடியோ பார்த்துட்டீங்க. பட் ஹவு டு யூ நோ இட் இஸ் யுவர் சொத்து? நம்ம அதை ஓன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு. ஸோ இப்போ நீங்கள் சொல்கிறீங்க சார் அந்த கார் என்னது, ஐ ஓன் தட் கார், ஐ எம் டெல்லிங் யூ கிவ் மீ ப்ரூஃப். It's in your name. It's in your name registration document. How do you prove something belongs to yours? Asset is anything that you own. எதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் உங்கள் சொந்தமானது, that is your asset. ஓகேவா? So how do you prove that is yours? There are two ways to prove. One is இன்னொன்று ஞாபகம் இல்லையா, registration இல்லை. You can become owner in two ways. ஓகேவா? So we will take asset and we will break it. So asset இருக்குல்ல, asset is anything that you own. Correcta? Anything that we own is our asset. Now, how do you know you own something? Ownership ku rendu test irukku. We call it as test of ownership. Sir, you are telling that asset is yours. Company is telling this building is yours. How do you prove? Two types of test is there. One is called ownership by title. Another is called ownership by another is called ownership by benefit. So one is called ownership by title, another is called ownership by beneficiary. Okay va? Appadina enna? A house belongs to you. How do you tell? Registration document, sale document is on your name. Car belongs to you. How do you know? RC copy is in your name. Bike belongs to you. RC copy is in your name. Mobile, you tell mobile is my sottu. How will you prove? Invoice. Invoice copy will be there. Key, your name will be written on the invoice. Your PAN number will be written on the invoice. Your PAN number will be written on the invoice. Your address will be written on the invoice to prove that document is yours. That means you are the original owner. Neenga dhaan adoda owner. No question of doubt in that. That is ownership by title. Very clear. Second is ownership by beneficiary. So, ownership by beneficiary. I'll take my example. Enga akka irukanga. Enga akka perla oru veedu irukku. I have a sister. My sister owns a house. How do you prove she owns the house? Registration document is in her name. She owns that house. After marriage, she went to USA and settled. Okay, va? Her husband is earning super money. She is telling, okay, Suraj, I don't want anything to take from this house. You let it out on rent or you use it. You use it or you take it on rent. You take the income. I don't have any issues. Actual ownership is her. But who is taking the benefits out of that house? Me. So in that case, I will become the beneficial owner. Clear? Ownership by title, ownership by beneficiary. Unga anna bike vechirkaru, vittu poitaru. You take, enjoy the bike. Appdi unga kitta kudutha, your ownership by beneficiary. Purinjudha? Clear. So that is your asset. Now we will come to the liability. What is liability? Liability, asset ungaloda sottu. Liability endradhu ungalku velila irukka kadan. Okay va? Your kadan, all everything that you owe. Okay va? Own is asset. Asset is anything that you own. Liability is everything that you owe. Oh, liability is everything that you like EMI. EMI is payment of loan, but the loan amount is your liability. EMI is the payment. Your loan amount is your liability. Clear? Anything that you owe. Okay va? In the liability நம்ம இன்னும் ரெண்டா பிரிக்கலாம். How? Everything that the business owes to outsiders and everything business owns to owner. ஓனருக்கு பிசினஸ் கொடுக்க வேண்டியதை நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்லுவோம்? ப்ராஃபிட்டா? கேபிட்டல். Capital, நீங்க ஸ்வேதாந்தன் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீங்க காசு போட்டீங்க, that company has to pay back. Whatever company has to pay back to its owners is called as capital. In the media is called as other liability, outside liability or other liability. Clear? Terms very easy, very very important. Asset is anything that you own. Liability is anything that you owe. நீங்க ஒரு லோன்ல ஒரு வீடு வாங்குறீங்க, அந்த வீடு உங்க அசெட், அந்த லோன் உங்க liability. Clear இது வரைக்கும்? Okay. So there is one basic accounting equation which says assets is equal to liability plus capital. So what does it mean? See, imagine I wanted to start this center. Okay, when I wanted to start this center, 10 lakh rupees money was needed. Why? Computer, furniture, flooring, idella sethu 10 lakhs ka assets we need to buy. So 10 lakhs I bought an asset. How did I buy? I had 5 lakhs money, which I put into the business, which is capital. And 5 lakhs I borrowed from my mother, which is liability. So whatever you own, it is either from your capital or from a loan. Clear? Very easy? No doubt? No doubt. Okay, then what is expenses? Expenses is your செலவுகள். Your செலவுகள் means செலவு only expense. So நீங்க யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, இந்த ரெண்டு சைடு இருக்குல்ல, asset and expenses. Asset and expenses both are there, no? It will come only when money is going out. நீங்க காசு செலவு பண்றீங்கன்னா, உங்க கிட்ட இருந்து உங்க பர்ஸ்ல இருந்து காசு வெளில போகுது, உங்க பேங்க் அக்கவுண்ட்ல இருந்து காசு போகுதுன்னா, either it is செலவு. பைக்குக்கு பெட்ரோல் போடுறீங்க, சாக்லேட் வாங்குறீங்க, செலவு. Or you are buying one asset. பைக் வாங்குறீங்க, asset. பைக்குக்கு பெட்ரோல் போடுறீங்க, expenses. So இது ரெண்டும் வந்து happens when money goes out. Okay. Income na enna? வரவுகள், வருமானம். What is the purpose of business? Salary we will see later. Don't think about salary, think about only business perspective. What is the purpose of business? To earn profit. How can a business earn profit? If I go to Himalaya, sit and meditate, I want profit, will I get profit? No, no chance. So you should either sell goods or provide some services. So that sales or services is what forms part of your income. Clear? Okay. So asset or expenses will come when money goes out. Liability or income will come when money comes in. When money comes in, either it is your income, either you earned that income or someone gave you loan. Clear? Very clear? Super clear? Any doubt? No doubt? No doubt. Okay. So in the asset liability, further ரெண்டா பிரிப்போம். என்ன ரெண்டா பிரிப்போம்? Super. One is called your current asset. Other is your non-current asset. One is your current asset, other is your non-current asset. EB la vara current ah? No. Current la irukna? Within 12 months? Okay. So asset oda proper definition. The definition of asset is anything on which future economic benefits are derived. Future economic benefit. Benefit immediate vandiruchna, it is your expenses. Future economic benefit. We all know financial year, April to March. What is the current financial year? 1st April 23 to 31st March 24. Okay. Whatever you spend, spend means money goes out. Whenever money goes out and the benefit is consumed within this period, it is your expenses. Correct? If the benefit is for the next 12 months, which is your 1st April 24 to 31/3/25. Sir, now salary in the period la pandren, benefit is going to come in this period and the next period also. Whatever is going to come in the next 12 months, this is your current asset. This is your current asset. Any benefit that is after 31/3/25, that is your non-current asset. Purida? Why, sir? We prepare two statements. One statement is called profit and loss. One statement is called balance sheet. Balance sheet is prepared as on closing date. Balance sheet is prepared as on 31/3/24. Profit and loss is prepared for a period. You should understand the terms. Profit and loss is for the period. For the period, now 1st April to 31st March, whatever happened, for the period we will compute profit and loss. Balance sheet is a bank statement, madri. Asset. 31/3 you will have a bank balance, 1/4 you will have a different bank balance. And so it is not for the period. So from the date of balance sheet, which is 31/3/24, from the date of balance sheet, whatever you recover in the 12 months is your current asset. Whatever is going to be after 12 months is non-current. Very clear? No doubts? Same way for liability. Whatever you have to pay between 1/4/24 to 31/4/25, EMI you are taking for 36 months. So whatever you pay this month, it will be reduced already here. Whatever is you have to pay in the next 12 months, that is your current portion of loan. Whatever you have to pay after 12 months, that is your non-current portion of loan. So 24 months we will divide it into 12 months. Clear till here? Any doubt? No doubt. So assets and liabilities are split into current and non-current. So liability is also current liability, non-current liability. Clear till here? Very good. So then we will come income. Income is also split into two. What are those two? Direct income and indirect income. How to explain this? Okay. So I've started this training academy. Training academy business and provide service. What service? Training service கொடுக்கிறது. Okay va? That is my direct income. That is my direct income. Training money I received, I deposited in a bank. Bank is giving me interest. That is also my income. But is that my direct income? No, that is my indirect income. For what purpose the business is formed? Any money received for that purpose only is direct income. Everything else is indirect income. Nama? You can, no, it is not passive income. It is indirect income. Passive income is different. We will do that later. It is indirect income. Ippathikku we will just remember these terms. Okay, I started this training academy. Okay, well, COVID happened. So we couldn't do live classes. I turned the center into a vaccination center. So I received rent from that. What is that income? Indirect income. Clear? There is one construction company. Construction company selling flats. That is construction company selling flats. Direct income. A trading company selling its house. That is an asset going out. That is not in my profit and loss. Able to understand the difference? So, again expenses are split into two. Direct expense, indirect expense. So, direct expense is any expense that is earned, that is spent to earn the direct income. I am a manufacturer. I manufacture pencils. Okay va? I buy wood. That is direct expenses. Pencil kana wood. I buy lead. That is direct expenses. 10 pencils, you put it in a box and sell. That is why? Day to day? Sorry, okay. I have two staff. One staff is in my factory. One staff is in my admin office. Factory staff for the salary? Direct expenses. Admin staff for the salary? Indirect expenses. I pay two rent. One is my factory rent, one is my admin office rent. Factory rent is direct. Admin office rent is indirect. So, in direct, indirect, packing irukku theriyuma. Packing, primary packing is always direct. நான் அந்த 10 பென்சிலை ஒரு டப்பால போட்டு வைக்கிறேன். Because goods might get damaged. My goods might, even though I can sell pencil then and there itself, the goods might get damaged. So, that primary packing, that is direct expenses. அந்த 10 டப்பாவை ஒரு காட்டன்ல போட்டு அனுப்புறேன். அந்த காட்டன் is indirect. Primary packing is direct. Secondary, tertiary packing and all indirect. Clear till here? Clear? Very easy. 4 terms. Asset, liability, income, expense. Asset, liability, expense, income. Okay va? Asset and expenses will come when money goes out. Liability and income will come when money comes in. Super easy. Super easy till here. Okay, we will go back 10 minutes. Left side of my books is called debit side. Right side of my books is called credit side. Okay. Whenever a transaction gives rise to increase in asset or increase in expenses, you debit that asset or expense. This is debit side la. Whenever a transaction gives rise to increase in asset or increase in expenses, your house is zero, you are buying a new house. House account, debit. Petrol expenses you are incurring, petrol expenses, debit. Salary you are incurring, salary expenses, debit. Bike you are buying, bike expenses, bike account, debit. Any transaction gives rise to increase in asset or increase in expenses, we will debit it. Any transaction giving rise to increase in liability or increase in income, we will credit it. A transaction creating reduce of asset or reducal of expenses, we should credit it. Ulta is ulta. Very easy. Okay. So, any transaction, first one, we should identify what are the two accounts that are going to hit. Those two accounts should ultimately be, okay, so one more thing I forgot. In the asset and liability, these two are your balance sheet items. Expenses and income are your profit and loss items. Easy? Easy. So, we will start with first question in Shwetan's. Divert okay. We will start in the Shwetan's. First question is started business with cash. 2.5 lakhs. What are the two accounts that you will create? Cash account, capital account. Okay va? இது போடுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி in your school they don't generally teach the school or college. There is something called as chart of accounts. Anytime, everything when you create, first thing that you should do is create the chart of accounts. in the books of, always we should write this, in the books of XXXYYY, whatever it is. Clear? Okay. So the start of accounts will be divided into few dabbas. What are those dabbas? We will see. The first dabba is your account head. Account head, now what accounts we are creating? We are creating one account called as cash account and another account called as capital account. Next thing is called your group. Group na balance sheet of profit and loss. அதுக்கு அடுத்தது is called as subgroup. சப்குரூப்ன்றது நம்ம இங்க படிச்சது கரண்ட் அசெட், நான் கரண்ட் அசெட், டைரக்ட் எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ், இன்டைரக்ட் எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ், கேபிட்டல், நான் கரண்ட் லைபிலிட்டி, கரண்ட் லைபிலிட்டி, டைரக்ட் இன்கம், இன்டைரக்ட் இன்கம். கேஷ் என்னது? கேஷ் வந்து அசெட், அசெட்ல கரண்ட் அசெட். ஏன்னா கேஷ் நம்ம வச்சிட்டு இருக்கிறது 12 மாசம் கழிச்சு செலவு பண்றதுக்கா? why do the business? we need rotation, so we want to money to come in, go out every day. so cash is your current asset. இதுக்கு அடுத்து வந்து sub group னு ஒன்னு இருக்கு. we will do that after this sum. cash is your current asset. current asset grouping என்னது? இந்த group என்னது? balance sheet, profit and loss. balance sheet. capital account is non current liability. group is balance sheet. so we should first create what is that account, where will that account go, then only we will know whether going up or coming down. This is your sheet 1 in your Shwetan sums question. How many of you finished Shwetan sums? double entry நீங்க ரெண்டு பேர் நீங்க முடிச்சிட்டீங்க. so மூணு பேர் முடிச்சிருக்கீங்க. you have to finish all three have to finish it today so that we go to the next class. okay, so your first sheet will be questions, second sheet will be chart of accounts, sheet 2 will be chart of accounts, in which we will create this. sheet 3 will be your journal entries in the books of. sheet பேர் வந்து journal entry னு கொடுக்கணும், but you will give journal entries in the books of. in journal entry the columns that we will have is, first is date, next is your account head, next is your debit, next is your credit. in school you would have written as account debit space to credit, correct? by and to we will write. that is because books of accounts எழுதும்போது உங்களுக்கு பார்த்த உடனே தெரியணும் what is debit, what is credit. but we are in Excel, we all learned sort and filter. if in credit if we sort it will show only credit items, debit if we sort it will show only debit items. ஞாபகம் இருக்கா sort and filter? so அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்பேஸ் விட்டு இதெல்லாம் தேவையே இல்லை. we can directly write what is the account. and Excel what I told, only one time we will record, second time we will always link. so we have already recorded cash capital here. so here we know the debit is cash, we know the credit is capital. you should press equal to, link to your chart of accounts cash. you should press equal to, link to your chart of accounts capital. in debit column you will put 2,50,000, in credit column you will put 2,50,000. if you have questions written, then you will link amount also from the transaction. we won't write twice anything. clear? next, deposited cash in bank 1 lakh rupees. what is going up? bank asset is going up. do we have bank in our books? no. start ingama angala illama. do we have bank in our books? this is our books. do we have bank here? so first we should create a bank account. grouping என்னது? current asset. இது வந்து balance sheet. so what is the journal entry? நீங்க we are anyways doing again only, so no issues. please join. debit will be எது ஏறுது? the asset that is raising we will debit, asset that is reducing we will credit. what asset going up? so is equal to, put to bank, again is equal to, link to your cash. amount you link to your from your transaction sheet if you already have. clear? easy. நீங்க VLOOKUP பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? pivot போட்டாச்சு. VLOOKUP pivot அது போடுங்க. okay, wait you see, just continue watching the trainer central classes. யார் முடிச்சிட்டீங்களோ continue watching the trainer central classes, others please wait. okay, திரும்பியும் இங்க தான் லிங்க் பண்ணணும், இங்க பண்ண கூடாது. see, when you get very confirmed, very sure your journal entries are right, you link here. what will happen? imagine here you linked it wrongly, and while correcting you are changing here, it will change here also. புரியுதா? so that's why unless you are very sure, always link from chart of accounts. புரிஞ்சுதா? நான் கரண்ட் அசெட் எங்கே இருக்குது? இது வரைக்கும் வரலையே எதுவும். நான் கரண்ட் அசெட்னா அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணணும். ஓகே, கேஷ் இருக்குப்பா, 12 மாதத்துக்குள்ளேயே நீங்கள் வந்து கேஷ் எடுத்துடுறீங்க. ஸோ தட் இஸ் யுவர் கரண்ட் அசெட். கிளியரா? உங்ககிட்ட ஒரு வீடு இருக்குது, உங்ககிட்ட ஒரு பைக் இருக்குது, கார் இருக்குது. ஒரு வருஷத்துக்குள்ளே வச்சுக்கணுமா இல்லை ஒரு 5-6 வருஷம் அதை யூஸ் பண்ணணுமா? 5-6 வருஷம் யூஸ் பண்ணணும். ஸோ ஒரு வருஷத்தில் நீங்கள் யூஸ் பண்ண போகிற வேல்யூ இஸ் கால்ட் யுவர் கரண்ட், அண்ட் மீதி நீங்கள் யூஸ் பண்ணுறது இஸ் கால்ட் நான் கரண்ட். எப்படி சார் கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க? அசெட்டில் டெப்ரிசியேஷன் ஒன்று வரும். ஸோ இந்த வருஷம் யூஸ் பண்ணதை நம்ம டெப்ரிசியேஷன் போட்டு க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிவிடுவோம். பேலன்ஸ் இருக்கிற வேல்யூ இஸ் நான் கரண்ட். ஸோ ஃபிக்ஸட் அசெட்ஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் நான் கரண்ட் அசெட். லாங் டேர்ம் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்ஸ், ரிலையன்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி பெரிய கம்பெனி ஷேர்ஸ் ஐ வாண்ட் டு பை அண்ட் யூஸ் இட் ஃபார் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் ஃபார் அ லாங் டேர்ம், தட் இஸ் யுவர் லாங் டேர்ம் அசெட்ஸ். இமீடியட்டாக நம்ம வந்து இந்த சப் குரூப் பண்ணும்போது யூ வில் கெட் அ ஸ்டில் கிளியர் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். ஓகேவா? பட் ஸ்டில் வெரி குட் டவுட். ஸ்டில் ப்ராக்டிஸ் நோ. ஃபார் நோ ஸ்டார்ட் த சம். ஸ்வேதா அண்ட் சம் முடிங்க. நீங்கள் முடிச்சிட்டிங்கன்னா ஏபிசின்னு ஒரு சம் இருக்குமா? ஸ்வேதா கடுத்து ஏபிசி தான் பண்ணணும். ஏபிசி சம் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்கள். ஓகேவா? ட்ரெயினர் சென்ட்ரல்லையே இருக்கும். ஏபிசி சம் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம் யார் முடிச்சிட்டிங்களோ. ஸோ டுடே ஐ வாண்ட் யூ ஆல் டு ஃபினிஷ் ஸ்வேதா அண்ட் சன்ஸ் அண்ட் ஏபிசி சம் போத். இன்னைக்கு இது ரெண்டும் முடிங்க. டுமாரோ வி வில் டூ டிடிஎஸ் ஜிஎஸ்டி என்ட்ரிஸ். தென் ஃப்ரம் நெக்ஸ்ட் வீக் ஆல் ஆஃப் அஸ் வில் பி ஆன் த சேம் பேஜ். ஐ வாண்ட் டு ஸ்டார்ட் டேலி ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக. ஆனால் அதுக்கு வந்து இன்றைக்கி நீங்கள் ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக முடிக்கணும். அப்படி முடிக்க முடியல சார்னா சண்டே வி வில் ஹேவ் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா கிளாஸ். ஓகே? உங்களுக்கு இல்லைம்மா, உங்கள் 2 பேருக்கு இல்லை. ஃபார் த நியூ ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஒன்லி. நீங்கள் 1 வீக் 1.5 வீக்ஸாக ஏற்கனவே வந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க. ஸோ நாட் ஃபார் யூ. For you, I should only come do extra class.